I never thought my own parents would put a price on my existence. But the night they told me I could either become my sister's unpaid nanny or start paying rent I couldn't afford, something inside me cracked. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just decided they would regret it. My name is Lily Carter, and I swear I still feel the cold air from that night every time I think about it. I walked through the front door after my shift, my feet aching, my hair smelling like fried food, and I called out, "I'm home." I expected the usual silence. Instead, my mom's voice drifted from the kitchen. "Lily, come sit. We need to talk." The way she said it made my stomach tighten. I stepped into the kitchen and saw both of my parents sitting stiff at the table like they were waiting for a funeral to start. My dad didn't look at me when he said, "Sit down." "Okay," I whispered, sliding into the chair across from them. "What's going on?" My mom folded her arms. "We've been reviewing the bills. Things are tight, and your rent is going up." My chest tightened. Going up? By how much? She exchanged a look with my dad before answering. $500 more. I blinked. "What?" "Mom, Dad, you know I can't afford that. I barely manage as it is." My dad lifted his chin like he was tired of dealing with me. "That's not our problem, Lily. You're 20. It's time you contribute like an adult." "I am contributing," I protested. "I work 2 jobs. I buy my own groceries." "Don't start with excuses," my mom cut in. "Your sister has 2 children and a household to run. She's the one who needs real help, not you." The moment Emily's name entered the room, my heart sank. What does this have to do with Emily? My mom leaned back, her voice calm in a way that made me panic. "Emily needs someone to watch the kids every day. She can't keep paying sitters. You're home in the afternoons. It makes sense." It took me a second to understand. "You want me to babysit? Every day? For free," my dad added. "And if you do, the rent stays the same." I let out a small, shaky laugh. "So my choices are, pay money I don't have or become Emily's free nanny?" "That's not what we're saying," my mom replied, even though it was exactly what they were saying. I looked between them, trying to read anything in their faces. "You know I work from 7 to 4 at the diner, then from 6 to 10 at the store. When exactly would I be watching kids?" My dad scoffed. "You act like you're the only person who works. Emily juggles way more than you do." "Emily also has a husband," I shot back before I could stop myself. "And she treats me like a maid." My mom's eyes narrowed. "Watch your tone." I felt the familiar burn in my throat. "I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to survive too." "You live here for cheap," my dad said. "We don't ask for much." "Cheap?" I whispered. "I pay more than half the utilities, my rent, my groceries, and any repairs you don't have time for." My mom slammed her hand on the table. "Don't talk back to us. We raised you. You owe us." That word "owe" hit me like a slap. "I owe you." My voice cracked. "For what?" "Being the extra child you didn't actually want. The one you only remember when Emily needs something." My dad's chair scraped the floor as he stood. "Stop being dramatic." "I'm not being dramatic," I said, my voice shaky. "I'm exhausted. I'm trying so hard and none of you even see it." My mom rolled her eyes. "If you're that exhausted, maybe staying home with the kids would be easier for you." I stared at her. "Are you serious?" "She's offering you a chance," my dad grumbled. "A chance to do unpaid labor for Emily," I said, my voice sharper now. "A chance to give up the only independence I have." My mom's mouth tightened. "So you're refusing?" I swallowed. My hands were shaking. "Yes. I have to." Her expression turned cold. "Then pay the increase." "But I can't," I whispered. "Then that's your problem," my dad said. "Grow up." I felt my eyes sting, but I stood anyway. "Fine." I went to my room, closing the door quietly because even in that moment, some pathetic part of me still didn't want to make them angry. I sat on my bed, staring at the wall, trying not to explode. After a few minutes, I heard them talking downstairs. "She always was the difficult one," my mom said. She should be grateful, my dad replied. Kids these days think everything is unfair. I buried my face in my hands as tears spilled out. Not loud sobs. Just quiet, painful ones, the kind you feel in your chest more than your throat. That night, as I cried into my pillow, something inside me cracked in a way I couldn't fix. It was the first night I truly understood I wasn't a daughter to them. I was a tool. And they thought I'd never break. I didn't even last 3 days before everything spun out of control. Emily called me at 7 in the morning, her voice sharp enough to cut my ear. Lily, you need to take the kids. I have an appointment. I rubbed my eyes. I'm leaving for work in 20 minutes. You can clock in late, she snapped. Family first. When I hesitated, she barked, don't make this difficult. Just get here. I hung up and stared at my uniform on the chair. My stomach twisted, but I still grabbed my keys. When I got to her house, she shoved her youngest, Max, into my arms without even saying hello. You're late, she hissed. It's been 8 minutes, I whispered. She glared like I'd ruined her entire life. 8 minutes is still late. I wanted to fight back, but I didn't. I just took the kids and brought them home. My mom walked in and frowned. You should have gone earlier, she said. I got here as fast as I could, I answered. Well, Emily's stressed. Try harder. Try harder. That sentence started haunting me. Later that afternoon, Emily called again. Pick them up from school. I'm on my lunch break, I said. So? You can eat in the car. I only have 30 minutes. She cut me off. Stop being selfish. Selfish. Another word to carve into me. By day 6, I felt like a ghost walking through my own home. I barely slept. I barely ate. My mom asked, are you sick? But only so she could add, don't get Emily's kids sick too. One night, after another long shift, Tyler knocked softly on my door. Lily, can I come in? Yeah, I said, moving my feet off the floor so he had space. He stepped inside, awkward and guilty. I know they're being harsh. My throat tightened. Harsh? Ty, they're destroying me. I know, he whispered. I wish I could say something, but whenever I try, Mom tells me I'm too young to understand. You understand more than any of them, I said. He sat beside me. You don't deserve this. I smiled a little, even though it hurt. Thanks. That means more than you know. But even his support couldn't stop the weight crushing me. 2 days later, Emily called at 9 at night. Come over. Now. What happened? I asked. Max spilled juice on the couch. Okay. What does that have to do with me? You were watching him earlier. You should have made sure his cup was closed. I stared at the wall. Emily, that's not. Just get here, she snapped. I'm not dealing with this alone. When I got there, she was pacing, red-faced. Look, she screamed, pointing at a small stain. Do you see what you caused? I didn't cause anything, I said quietly. Yes, you did. You never pay attention. You're irresponsible. I wasn't even here when it happened, I whispered. She moved closer, towering over me. Don't play dumb. You're the reason I'm behind on everything. You make my life harder. Something inside me trembled. Emily, I'm doing everything you ask. Not well enough. She kept yelling, and her kids hid behind the hallway door, peeking at us with frightened eyes. I finally said, I'm going home. Of course you are, she snapped. Run away like always. When I walked through my front door, my parents were already waiting. My dad crossed his arms. What did you do to upset your sister? I blinked in disbelief. She yelled at me because her kid spilled juice. My mom shook her head. You must have done something. I didn't, I whispered. She's overwhelmed. She takes it out on me. My mom's eyes iced over. Then help her more. I felt my heart drop. I can't keep doing this. You don't get to quit, my dad barked. This family needs you. And I need to breathe, I said, my voice cracking. My mom waved her hand. Stop being dramatic. Those words hit me harder than anything Emily ever threw at me. That night, I hid in the bathroom because it was the only place with a lock. I sat on the cold tile floor and wrapped my arms around my knees. My chest felt tight, like I was suffocating from the inside. I whispered to myself, please, stop, please, but the tears kept coming, harder and harder, until I was gasping for air. I didn't want them to hear me, but I couldn't hold it in. I felt like I was disappearing, like every piece of me was being scraped away. After several minutes, I heard voices through the thin door. My mom said, she's so lazy. She acts like we're torturing her. My dad added, she's lucky we don't kick her out. My mom laughed softly. Right. She complains more than she works. My heart cracked open. It was the kind of pain that didn't sting, it hollowed. I pressed my hand against my mouth to stop another sob from escaping, but it still slipped out. I realized something awful in that moment. I wasn't a daughter to them. Not a sister. Not a person. Just a convenient tool. When I finally stood up and washed my face, I stared at my reflection. My eyes were red, and my cheeks felt hot. I whispered, I can't survive like this. And for the first time, I meant it. I was carrying 2 grocery bags when my phone exploded with Emily's ringtone. Lily, get to my house right now, she yelled the moment I answered. I'm still outside the store, I said. I haven't even made it home yet. I don't care. I need you to watch the kids. Jason and I have plans. I shifted the bags in my arms. You didn't tell me ahead of time. Because things came up, she snapped. Just get here. I can't today, I replied. I'm exhausted. I just finished work. She screamed so loudly I moved the phone away from my ear. You're ruining everything. Jason is sick of paying sitters because you're unreliable. I blinked. I'm unreliable? Emily, I never agreed to be on call. You should be. Your family. I let out a shaky breath. I can't. Not tonight. 10 minutes later, I heard pounding on our front door. When I opened it, Emily stormed in, her face twisted with anger, her kids trailing behind her like frightened shadows. You selfish brat, she shouted. You don't get to say no. I backed up. Emily, calm down. No. Look at this. She shoved her phone in my face. Jason is furious. Do you know how embarrassing this is for me? How is your marriage my responsibility? I shot back. She gasped like I had slapped her. You're unbelievable. No, Emily, I said, gripping the bags. I'm tired. I have limits. You don't get limits, she hissed. Not when I need you. I tried to walk past her, but she smacked the grocery bags out of my hands. They hit the floor, apples rolling across the hallway. Her kids jumped. I froze. My parents rushed out of the living room like they'd been waiting for a show. What did you do to your sister? My mom demanded. I stared at her. She came here screaming at me. Well, what did you say to set her off? My dad asked. I told her I couldn't babysit tonight. My mom folded her arms. Why not? You weren't doing anything. I just got home from work, I said. I'm allowed to rest. Emily pointed at me. She's ruining my life. Jason's fed up. He says I rely on her too much, and now she's making me look stupid. That's not my fault, I said. Yes, it is, she yelled. My dad turned to me. You need to stop causing problems for your sister. I felt something inside me break. I'm not causing anything. I'm just tired. My mom snapped. You're always tired. Maybe if you tried harder. No, I said, louder than I expected. I'm done. They all stared at me. Emily scoffed. Done with what? With all of this, I said. With being everyone's punching bag. With being treated like a free babysitter. With being blamed for everything. My dad smirked. So what? You're leaving? Yes, I said. I'll pay the rent increase. I'll pack my bags. My mom laughed. Don't be ridiculous. You wouldn't survive a week on your own. Emily added, you won't last a day. I walked past them and headed to my room. My hands were shaking, but I kept packing. My heart pounded, but my chest felt strangely light. Tyler burst through the door, his eyes wide. Are you really leaving? Yes, I breathed. He grabbed my arm. Good. Please go. They're never going to treat you right. You deserve better. My throat tightened. Thank you. I'll visit, he whispered. When I finished packing, I carried my bag down the hallway. My parents stared like I was abandoning them. My mom said, "You're being dramatic." My dad added, "You'll be back." Emily rolled her eyes. "You always crawl back." "I won't," I said. "Not this time." Maya pulled into the driveway 10 minutes later, and I rushed out before anyone could grab me. She leaned out the window. "Get in. Now." I climbed in, trembling. As we drove away, my phone lit up with calls: Emily, my mom, my dad. I turned it off. For the first time in years, I finally felt air fill my lungs. And even though fear clawed at me, freedom felt louder. A month after I left, I was sitting on Maya's couch when my phone buzzed non-stop. I ignored the first few calls, but Tyler's name finally showed up. I answered immediately. "Ty, what's wrong?" He exhaled hard. "You're not gonna believe this. Jason left Emily." I blinked. "What?" He packed his stuff and walked out. He told Mom that he's tired of her yelling and blaming everyone. A tiny shock ran through me. "So, she has to watch her own kids now?" "Yep," he said. "And she's losing it." I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. "Wow." Tyler continued. "Mom said, if Lily were here, this wouldn't be happening." Dad agreed. I let out a soft laugh. "Of course they did." "Don't come back," he whispered quickly. "I'm telling you because they're going to call. Don't answer." "I won't," I said. "I promise." After we hung up, Maya came into the room with 2 cups of tea. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "Just shocked." She sat beside me. "You knew something like this would happen eventually. I didn't expect it so fast. People fall apart when their free labor leaves," she joked lightly. My phone rang again, this time my mom. Maya looked at me. "You gonna pick up?" "No," I set the phone face down. "I'm done being dragged back into their chaos." "Good," she said. "I'm proud of you." 2 weeks later, with Maya's help, I found a tiny apartment above a bakery. When I opened the door to the empty space, I whispered, "This is mine." Maya smiled. "Feels good, doesn't it?" "It feels unreal." The first night there, Tyler visited. He dropped onto my couch and sighed. "The house is different without you," he said. "Better or worse?" I teased. "Worse," he admitted. Mom complains non-stop. Emily cries all day. Dad hides in the garage. I raised a brow. "And you?" "I'm managing," he said. "But I'm glad you left. You look lighter." I felt my eyes warm. "I feel lighter." After he left, I stood by the window, watching the streetlights flicker. My chest felt calm for the first time in years. "I'm not useless," I whispered to myself. I wasn't the problem. I just needed to leave. I wasn't angry anymore. Not hurt. Just free. Leaving them wasn't betrayal. It was survival.